I told you that Saint Clair Family Estate in Marlborough had over 250 tanks and 120 of them all filled with Sauvignon Blanc, you'd probably go, wow, that's huge. But as the saying goes, it's not the size, it's what you do with them that counts.
Saint Clair Winery have deliberately kept the size of their gear small, even though they process huge quantities of fruit.
Why so many small tanks?
It gives us a big advantage being able to keep all the vineyard parcels separate. We learn a huge amount about the vineyards, whether we're doing things right or wrong in the vineyard, and it even comes down to the vineyard size where if we feel there's enough difference between one end of the vineyard and the other, we'll split it into smaller sub-blocks, harvest them separately, ferment them separately.
Is that right?
Yeah.
What's your favourite Sauvignon Blanc out of the different ranges that you make at Saint Clair?
The one we get most excited about is the Wairau Reserve. It's what we as winemakers feel is the very best, the creme de la creme of that particular vintage. Sauvignon Blanc, for us anyway, is very much terroir driven. The winemaking is exactly the same whether the parcel ends up down the bottom or right up the very top in the reserve.
So it's all about what's happening in the vineyard?
All about the flavours of the vineyard and the site, yeah.
Far out, I can smell that as you're pouring it. It's really kind of, it's like lemon and lime and passion fruit, and it's like a fruit salad, really.
Yeah.
So sparkly, it's like a white diamond in the glass. And it smells amazing, and it's worth as much.
There's a little bit of blackcurrant, a little bit of grapefruit.
Which is kind of odd because you don't think about blackcurrant being in a white wine, but it's like blackcurrant, sort of the fruit and the leaf. It's really elegant. It's quite sort of softly layered with different herbs and fruit. And
And that's exactly what we're looking for. We're looking for the wine to really unfold and keep delivering different spectrums of flavours.
This has got it in spades.
Yeah.
Gosh, you've done well.
Thank you. Thank you.
Saint Clair started from humble beginnings, and the fact that their wines now appear across the country and the world is testament to the vision of Neil and Judy Ibbotson, who, since their very first vintage in 1994, have, with the help of their children, turned Saint Clair into an award-winning phenomenon.
Wow, look at that colour. I love that smell. Oh, that's good. It's really succulent and that, actually the grapefruit flavours, that nice crisp acidity definitely runs through the middle, doesn't it?
I think there's a bit of grapefruit. I think there's almost a touch of salt or a touch of minerality which comes through.
Yeah. What's the secret to Saint Clair?
It's more about quality people. It's about knowledge and gaining knowledge, about using that knowledge to improve the quality of the wine.
And you've gone from a couple of thousand cases of wine to 17,000 cases. It's huge, isn't it?
It's grown far more than we ever thought it would do. But of course, whilst we're of a reasonable size now, we need to be, because we are supplying 60 markets all around the world.
60?
We're also very fortunate that we have, as part of our team, Hamish Clark, winemaker, Matt Thompson, a wine consultant.
And they do a bit of the travelling?
They do quite a bit of the travelling as well.
Oh, that's good.
Well,
cheers, Neil. Yay.
Cheers.
Saint Clair sponsor many local events, including a half marathon.
Oh, no, wait, Judy. Come back, I want to have a talk.
Thanks, Yvonne.
So how long Saint Clair been sponsoring the half marathon?
This will be our 7th year.
7th year? How many have you done?
7.
Wow.
Or 6.
You've done 6 of them?
Yes, and I hope to do the one this year.
Could you have imagined, way back when you and Neil first started planting your vineyard, how things have changed?
No, not at all, but we've got, family to help us to start with, and then lots of other good people to help us.
Hello, this is Julie.
The 2 girls, Julie and Serena, help with the marketing side of things. And Tony's a graphic art designer with his own firm in Sydney, so he does all our labels and all our artwork. Always comes up with the bright ideas, even the monk's habits, that was his idea, and he wouldn't wear one for years, but he does now.
Just weeks away from the harvest, all around the region, growers like John and Robin here at Barnblock Vineyard are starting to pay very close attention to their grapes.
Oh, a little bunch of my babies off the vines.
Oh, I'm so sorry to do this to you, because there's not many of them, are there?
No, that's all right.
Can I have a little taste?
Absolutely. Even though it's a little bit acidic, you can still taste that blackberry, which is
Fantastic.
one of the significant flavours of our little vineyard here.
You've been growing for Saint Clair for a wee while.
We have.
How long did it take for the fruit to reach the level of acceptance for Pioneer Block?
It took us 3 years for it to be recognised by Saint Clair.
And so now this bunch will end up in a bottle of Pioneer Block 22.
Block 22.
Barnblock Pinot Noir from Saint Clair.
That's right.
Oh, yum. Look at that colour.
I'm so pleased I was given a big nose. So there had to be a reason.
Blackberry and some lovely dried herbs and gorgeous red fruits. I mean, what is it about this one that you like, Robin?
Well, knowing that it's ours, you know, that all that hard work and the passion and the chatting to the vines and the cursing them and cursing John.
And the scaring of the birds.
And the scaring of the birds, it just makes it all worthwhile.
So in all of your years of writing about food and preparing food, what would be your ultimate food match for the Barnblock?
Robin makes a Pinot Noir, Block 22 Pinot Noir sorbet, and it will blow your socks off.
Here's something I prepared earlier.
You'd be wanting to say that on telly radio.
Try that.
This is absolutely extreme in terms of flavour. Sweet dark fruit, plums, you know, a little bit spicy, and just pure.
No
just
sugar
pure
added at all.
And tangy and cleansing. Do you know what? That's the first sorbet wine combo I've ever done, and it's exquisite.
And whilst I enjoyed this particular Pinot, this man spends weeks tasting all the fruit grown for Saint Clair to ensure each part of each vineyard is harvested at the perfect time.
So when did you harvest this fruit, Matt?
This was about a week ago, 8 days ago. It seems like a long time ago now, but
Let's taste some of the 2013 fruit.
it's quite young to be tasting this Pinot Noir. You can see why we've harvested, because if we didn't, it would have shriveled a bit.
Well, you can see it. They've kind of turned into raisins, some of those ones.
And that's what happens when it gets overripe. Now, when it gets overripe like that, you get enormous colour because your skin to juice ratio is improved, but you also lose all those wonderful aromas. The alcohol gets to 15%, and it's not something that we really want to do.
Tell you what, though, they're really tasty.
They're really tasty. Yeah.
Why are there leftovers on the end of the vine?
Because the harvesters can't shake the strainer posts.
You're the consultant winemaker for Saint Clair. You've been with them for a long, long time. What's
Thanks,
your sort of
Yvonne, I really
role?
appreciate that.
But you're looking very youthful.
Thank you very much. There's a time in life when you realise you're more full of experience and potential, and I guess that's me now. I started with Saint Clair, I guess technically back in 1994, because I was working at the winery where they first made.
Okay.
In 1996, I worked with Kim Crawford, and we made their wine for them as consultants. And then Kim moved on to do his own thing, and I stayed there. And now Saint Clair's grown to have its own winery and a fantastic bunch of winemakers as well, and I'm somehow still there. We have a lot of winemakers, but we have a lot of wines as well. We keep very small parcels together right through the bottle, and that takes a lot of winemaking, believe me.
And of course, the cellar door is the perfect place to enjoy those wines, with plenty of space for the kids to run around. And there are lots of Ibbotson grandchildren.
Oh, good friends and jolly good company. Never mind the weather, never mind the rain. We'll be all together, up she goes again. La-di-da-di-da, la-di-da-di-dee. Oh, good friends and jolly good company. Hey!
Oh, this is just fantastic. Great lunch. What was it actually like growing up in the vineyard?
Child labour.
We got slave labour.
Child slave labour.
No.
Yeah, 20 cents an hour to plant vines.
Overpaid.
I mean, how many trophies has Saint Clair won in recent years? I thought it was something like 100, is that right?
100 and just over 120 in the last 12 years.
That's amazing. What's kind of the bigger, the new plans for the future for Saint Clair?
I think it's about making and drinking great wine. Now I find I'm being told what to do rather than telling other people what to do. So that's okay. You can only be right 50% of the time. So I need to listen to what other people are telling me.
Jack, what are we drinking?
It's kind of wine.
Whose wine is it? Whose wine is it?
Evo's wine. Here's cheers to the next, what is it, 25 years? Yeah. Right, cheers. Brilliant.
Cheers.